Hello, beloveds. How are you today? I hope everyone is well. I hope today was just as good or better than yesterday. I've already selected the card, shuffled, and pulled the card for today, and the card is Enter the Garden of Delights. Enter the Garden of Delights. Look at the garden. Shrubs and flowers of all kinds and sizes and shapes and colors and heights. Trees. A beautiful cloudy sky. Enter the Garden of Delights. It almost looks like waterfalls or coral reefs under the sea. They look like gardens sometimes too. I've been getting a lot of feedback from some of the viewers, and some are saying that my voice is low, that they can't hear me. So, viewers, please, if you're having any kind of technical difficulties, you would like me to speak up, speak slower, speak faster, to help you receive the message, to comprehend what I'm saying, please let me know. Drop me a comment. You can DM me on Facebook under the same name. I was very grateful for the feedback from one of my viewers about the tone, or not the tone, but the volume. So I'm going to try to make an effort to speak louder so that you can hear me clearly. So we're going to go into today's card, Enter the Garden of Delight. Okay, it's a little long. Are you aware that sweetness is found everywhere in town? Are you aware that winter is gone and spring has come around? Are you aware that sweet basil and the carnation are whispering in the garden and laughing about how simply everything is found? Are you aware the nightingale has come back from its flight, singing out messages of love to spread delight with every sound? Everything in the garden is granted the right from the divine court to appear for our delight. Everything is here to make the earth green and alive as a haven for our life. What remains buried in the soil will always endeavor to reach out. No one truly alive can ever be pawned to a prison or a tomb. There is a sweet spot when entering the Garden of Delights, a moment where the senses have gorged themselves upon beauty and become heavy with their fullness, slowing the mind so that it can perceive the divine beloved dancing behind the veils of nature. But first comes the sensual feasting. Blooming orchids arrest the gaze with their startling and strange beauty. Nectar from the ripest fruits of the gardens drip luscious and sweet upon a savoring tongue. Hungry for gossip, the ears shamelessly eavesdrop upon the birds in a melodic conversation. They sing of greatest, most passionate loves and boundless living joy. The ears are open wide to take it all in. The craving for the touch is sated by rough textured bark falling from the ancient trees, soft dewy grasses, cool in the shade, the crunching leaves making their sounds under the hot sun and dancing feet, and the cares of the sunlight upon the bare shoulders with weight of its own, like a silken wrap placed just so by a caring lover's hand. The breeze, the very breath of the beloved Earth Mother, is sweet, with scent of lavender and jasmine, warmed by the Sun Father. Oh, drink it in until your arms raise themselves to heaven. Your head tilts and eyes rolling back in your head, and your sacred animal body is mindless and in love. The Garden of Delights, narcotic in effect, lulling the senses from tension into sacred languor, that love may be experienced. Let us rest here in the midst of so much life, where the goodness of life is felt and the heart is free from any prison of pain or doubt. Come, be in the garden with me now. Let us be free and feast to our heart's content. You have been granted entry into sacred space, a mihrab, a sanctuary for worship. When the soul is well acquainted with love, life becomes a temple of love, the sacred space in which the soul can grow powerfully through expansive worship of love. You are being invited by your spiritual brother Rumi to enter into life, to commit to coming alive, even if at times this feels deeply challenging. Sometimes a part of you may rather stay locked in an illusion of security for a time, perhaps expressed through the preference for what is known over what is unknown, what is familiar and comfortable compared to that which is unfamiliar or uncomfortable. To tussle with the parts of us that would deny aliveness is a natural part of growth. It can seem so risky with such potential for heartache, and yet, what could be more heart-wrenching than the slow death of a precious human soul, suffocated by fear and inertia? That is the greatest risk of never really and fully being born into this world of wonders. So Rumi is your midwife, there to ensure full spiritual birth. He is standing at the threshold with you now. You are being asked to cross the threshold from the life you have been living into the aliveness that is flickering and glowing at your feet. It is love's wild, hot embers at your sacred feet. They will erupt at any moment into a holy inferno, taking hold of you and igniting you from within, transforming you into living fire. To come alive requires shedding of so much adherence to the fear of death. The great brother whispers wisdom into your heart. You have heard it, felt it already. The fear of death is so much more terrible than death itself. Nothing is dying in you but fear, so the heart can live more freely. Death and life are twin angels, dancing together in communion with the sacred. They are not opposed. They bring the soul aliveness and make the garden of delights possible. They bring the seasons of the soul that foster growth and take the appearance of dying away, which is actually part of the cycle of life, again and again and again. You have been through much death, dear one. Around you, within you, you have known this dark angel. That is why you are so full of life. Your attempts to stay as you have been, to render something in your life immobile or impervious to change, has failed. Let us celebrate. There is no delight in frozen moments long since past. Why try to feast upon such food? It will not nourish you anywhere near as deeply and fully as fresh from the oven morsels of life. Come, let us taste all that is. Let us taste all that is on offer. We'll drink headily and sate our deepest thirst. Let us enjoy the richness of the meal in gratitude for its preparation and awe at the skill involved in such masterful creation. Do not let the memory of death starve you of your participation in life. Do you hold on still to that which is past? I will soothe you with a loving touch upon your back, and yet gently I will turn your head to the right and urge you to see the rising sun. Your life is blessed, you see. I want you to know this now. I want you to accept this now. Let those horrors of the past be gone. They are no more than phantoms. The garden is here now, to be touched, tasted, seen, heard, felt, inhaled, and loved. This oracle comes to you with a message, a new day in dawning for you. This is a time when the past will very soon cease to have any hold over you. Celebration is imminent. You are invited into the golden light of divine plenty. Put your worries behind you now and step into your divine inheritance, where all is sorted according to kindness and grace. And as usual, this is fitting for me because I have been spending a lot of time in the past. A lot of time in the past. Right before COVID, my mom passed. So as I attempted to grieve, COVID came. So I had to press that back. Then there were other family issues, when someone leaves, transitions, it's always hard on family. Relationships change, and family life change, dynamics just change when you are missing or lose a loved one. I went from that to a sudden move, among other things, all in a week's time. Then a few months later, COVID came. Then after that, I started losing people from COVID. Then I got COVID. So then I lost more people from COVID, and lost a lot of people with COVID. So in the last few years, it's been rough. It's been tough, and I've been living in remembrance of those who have passed, who have gone. And in doing so, I haven't really taken the time to grieve, to actually live. And everything became so heavy, so overwhelming, that I decided that I needed to take a closer look at myself. Then I went through my transitioning with church, how I feel about my religion. Is this what I want to do? Is this effective for me? Is this working for me? So I did some changing. Then I started looking within myself and realized that I was dealing with some things from childhood that I never really dealt with. I thought I dealt with them, but I never really dealt with them. Then I found out about a repressed memory came to me, and it opened some doors. So I grieved that process. I grieved some relationships that ended, some relationships that some new relationships, old relationships, just business relationships, church relationships, friendships, all kinds of things have been going. It's like a domino effect, one thing after another, one thing after another. So now I've been called in my spirit to finish grieving, to let go of all of the grief, to let go of all of the pain. You've realized what your pain is, what your hurts are. Now feel them, process them, and let them go. So I was under the impression that I had done that, and apparently I haven't done it thoroughly enough to be able to move on um, to the next phase in my life. And some of the things that I have been trying to acquire or do have been blocked because of it. So this card spoke to me in leaps and bounds about being caught in the past. Yes, you've been through some devastating things. Yes, there's memories, but you're forgetting to live in the process. And that is so. Like the simplest of things. And like today, for instance, y'all might notice I'm a little brown or red today. I was out at the beach this morning, and I always carry my chair, my beach chair. And I guess because of my gait, my injury, I had an accident years ago, and sometimes I don't do well walking on the sand. So as much as I go to the beach, I very rarely go to the sand unless I have somebody with me. So I made up my mind this morning. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of carrying this chair, and I never used the chair. Today, I am going to go and I'm going to sit on the beach. So I have visitors, and I was like, today's not a good day to go and sit on the beach. I don't want to leave my company. So I get up, I get prepared, and it's like, all right, if they don't come out of there, if they don't come out of their room by the time I leave, by the time I'm ready to go, I won't sit on the beach. And they came out, and I was like, oh, you want to go to the beach? I'm going to the beach. I'm going to go sit on the beach for a little while. So they were like, sure. So we went to the beach. And at first, I was going to be content sitting in the car and just having conversation. I usually sit in the car for a little while, and then I get out and I'll sit on the little benches by the water, or I'll stand up by the railing if it's too many people out. So today, and I got out, I was like, oh, I have chairs in the back. Let's get the chairs and go sit on the sand. So we got the chairs and we sat on the sand, and my whole countenance changed. And I took this deep breath, and I was like, oh, I did it. And they were like, did what? I said, do you know how long I have been trying to get to the sand just to take my chair and come to the sand and sit? And they were like, no, how long? I said, months. I've been coming to the beach for months, wanting to be closer to the water, to put my feet in the sand, and for whatever reason, I never did it. I just blocked it out and would go home and come back again and go home and come back again. But today, I did it. Today, I took my chair and we sat out there for hours. And after a while, I was like, okay, I don't have an umbrella out here. All I had was my beet juice and my bottle of water. So when it was gone, so was I. I was like, okay, it's time to go. I'm ready to go now. But that for me was an accomplishment. I don't know why it was a chore, why it was so hard. I guess maybe it's just memories of being with my loved ones on the beach. That was one of the things we like to do, is, get a bag together, make up some potato salad or some sandwiches or what have you, and go to the beach, and everybody just sit and relax for the day at the beach. Maybe that was it. I have no idea. But I made it to the beach to sit on the beach to do the thing that I enjoy. And the only thing I didn't do was get my feet wet because it was too many people. There's a lot of people out there today. But it's beautiful, hot, sunny day. It'll probably rain a little later. It looks like rain, smells like rain. But yes, so this is very relevant for me to that song is Get Out, Get Up and Do Something. This is me. To get out, to live. Don't forget to live. Don't get caught up in what was, but get involved in what is. So that is our word for the day, our card for the day. Enter the Garden of Delights. And the garden is life. And life is to be lived with vitality, vibrantly, enthusiastically, caringly, lovingly, and consciously, thoughtfully. So, live on purpose. Don't exist. Live, flourish, thrive, as we all should. So, I love you to life, and I'll see you in the future. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I need 50. I need 50 so I can go live. Thank you.